everyone, it's Shel C from PaperOcotilloStudio, and today I'm sharing with you a event that we have every June over in our Art Joy of Sharing art community. And this is a really popular one. It went from a few people to a bunch of people last year, and now this year we're expecting it to be even bigger. What it is making an artist trading card, which is a very small piece of art, each day in June. So we wanted to kick it off early so that you would have time to prepare the things that you want to collect to be ready to make an artist trading card each day. And then you can share that on social media, anywhere on social media, with the hashtag, that's that little number sign, ATCAD2021. That stands for Artist Trading Card a Day 2021. And we've been doing this for several years, so it's just something that's a lot of fun and people really enjoy it. If you're in our art community over in Art Joy of Sharing, you've probably already heard about it. If you follow myself or Peg Robinson on Instagram or Facebook, you've probably seen our graphic. And we want to get everyone started a little bit early so that by June 1st, you'll be ready to go with your artist trading cards. An artist trading card is 3.5 by 2.5 inches. It's the same size as a baseball card or a Yu-Gi-Oh card or any of those little trading cards. And years ago, artists started trading these at conventions and different things. People are pretty particular about keeping to that size. And to store them, you can put them in baseball card sleeves inside of a 3-ring binder. You could put them in a little box. You could put each one into an individual ATC sleeve and store them, in one of those trading card boxes. They're easy to store, easy to send. If you start to collect too many of them, you could send them out in Happy Mail. In fact, over in the art community, we do have a file of people's addresses who are interested in receiving Happy Mail. So, they're just a fun little thing to do, and we hope that you would join us. As far as what your base can be made out of, this particular one I'm working on right now is alcohol ink on some watercolor paper. And I made this last week during the live stream show. And then I have a little die cut piece that also got stained with alcohol ink. I was using it for texture as I was making these little cards. And it's fun to start with a background that's already made. So you will see a couple different ones that I make today with different types of backgrounds. I think that one of them, the second one, I didn't have a background made showing that you could start with nothing. As far as materials, you could use watercolor paper. You could use Yupo paper. You could get pre-cut artist trading cards. Strathmore has some. You could use mineral paper. I mean, any type of a stiffer paper. A lot of people just make them out of post-consumer waste like cereal boxes or pasta boxes or anything like that. The second one that I'm going to make here in a minute, you'll see is just a piece of cardboard that, tagboard, cardboard stuff. I actually cut it out of a mailer. If you guys are in Stencil Girl Club, or if you've ever ordered from Stencil Girl, you get those stiff mailers that are made out of cardboard to keep the stencils flat as they're being mailed. Those are great for cutting up into 2.5 by 3.5 inch pieces to make an artist trading card. That's great for a base. If you are going to use that type of card, I would recommend that you maybe put a coat of gesso on it, just because it's extremely absorbent. That type of tagboard is just porous as heck, and it just will absorb everything. But you don't have to. I mean, you could just put more layers on if you want to. My style, of course, is mixed media and collage. Those are the things that I do. So during the month of June, remember this starts on June 1st, 2021, you'll see me make a lot of different styles. Also, I like to collect things like pictures and words from magazines, things that you might have gotten at the scrapbook store, things out of brochures. Of course, I have lots of pieces of painty papers and things like that. I save things like if someone sends me Happy Mail, there's usually like stamping or different things on the envelope. I will save the stamp, the postage stamp off of it. If they've decorated it somehow, I will save that. and use it. Die cuts are great, stamps are great. You know, anything, any little thing. I also like bling. In fact, today when I made these three, I used a lot of glitter. My favorite glitter is an iridescent glitter, like a glitter glue. Wink of Stella is great. Stickles Diamond, like was what I'm using right now, is great. That type of iridescent glitter um, is contained within some type of glue, so it's not messy, and it also will pick up whatever color. It just shines and picks up whatever color is on your card, so you don't have to own every color of glitter. Someone in the live stream today said a very smart little tip, which I thought was great. I think it was maybe Linda, Peggy. I think it was Peggy. She said, put your glitter in a little sealable tub, add some glue to it. She said Mod Podge. I don't like Mod Podge because it yellows, but you could add liquid, any type of liquid glue, white glue or whatever, anything that dries clear. Mix it in with the glitter, and then you can paint it on, or put it in a squeeze bottle and squeeze it on, and then you've made your own glitter glue, basically, which with any, glues that you have. So this was number one. It's got some magazine words. It's got some stick-on gems. It's got a die cut, and then a lot of alcohol ink background and a little extra piece that I cut out from some deli paper with some paint on it. And that's as easy it is. Super easy. So you can make one in 10 or 15 minutes a day. There's no long drawn out thing. If you do want to make it more complicated than that, you absolutely can. If you want to draw your own image, you want to paint a portrait, you want to, do more involved things, absolutely you can do that. Even if you are a quilter, you could make these, make little pieces of fabric collage and cut it, have it cut to the size of 3.5 by 2.5, and that would still be considered an artist trading card. As long as it's that size, it's an artist trading card. And then, you could use up some of your fabric scraps. You could glue them to paper, or you could just sew them, cut some little backs and sew them, and maybe use some inks or something, whatever. It's absolutely up to you what you want to do. For the second one, this is the post-consumer waste. It was a hard mailed envelope that came to me actually from England, or actually Scotland, come to think of it. It came from Edinburgh. I had ordered something from there, and it came in a flat, hard envelope. I just cut out, I think, three. I was able to cut three pieces out of it. Don't waste it. You know, it's made out of trees. You don't want to waste the trees. This other little piece that I have there, that was from Happy Mail. Somebody had sent me something in an envelope, and they'd stamped on it that little heart shape, two heart shapes. It was stamped, a stamped piece. And then this one that I'm gluing down right now was leftover piece of washi tape from somebody's envelope. I just pulled the washi tape off. It's barely sticks. So I keep the washi tapes because maybe they have some that I don't have. So I always save stuff, and then of course there comes the whole discussion of how do you organize it, how do you store it. That's always the that's always the problem I have. Um, Also on this one, I used some glitter paste from Gina K Designs. There are quite a few different companies out there making glitter paste, and I put it through a Stencil Girl stencil. If you do use a stencil, you need to wash that right away to get that stuff off, because it'll stick on the stencil and make it all bumpy and weird, and you'll be mad. So just, rinse it off quickly, or just chuck it in a bucket of water until you have time to rinse it. I also used a piece of a barcode off of a sticker that came in a mailing thing. It was just a little barcode. And I used a couple other little scraps of washi tape as well that were kind of a green color. They're pretty translucent, so they're kind of hard to see until the close-up. And then to set off the heart, I used Stabilo All Pencil, which is a highly water activated black pencil. This is the black one. And I blended that out with some water. And this little piece that I glued on absorbed some of that water, some of that black water, because it wasn't sealed or anything. And so I ended up having to fix it a little bit. But Still worked. I ended up touching it up with a green Posca pen and then a white Posca pen. I also used Posca pens to make some splatters on there, some turquoise splatters and some black splatters and some white splatters. I love splatters. I use them a lot in art journaling and making little things like this, like tags or ATCs. So, yeah, lots of fun. I used a sticker from a Tim Holtz um, chit chat type sticker book. I like to use these on ATCs. They're great. They're the perfect size, little tiny words. So it says, "I'm loving you," and that's true. I am loving you. I am grateful for all of you who watch my channel, and I do love you. So I'm glad you're here. I dried that off, and this is where I'm fixing it a little bit with white. I did like having that white border that I had originally cut it out. I had cut it so that there was a little bit of a white border, but then that black Stabilo all sucked into the paper, so I put some more white on there to just give it that border again. And that one has lots of glitter with that glitter gel. It's also a little bit textured from the gel, so it's fun. Splatters, things like that. My third one, now this is a piece of masterboard. You guys have seen me make masterboards before, where you just take a large piece of paper. This is watercolor paper. I like to make them hard. And you do whatever kind of techniques. You put some collage, you put some napkin collage, you've got paint, you've got stamps, you've got, every kind of technique that you would want on a big piece of paper. And then you just cut it up and use it in smaller pieces. And if I think I probably cut this up and made it into thank you notes because I do that pretty often with my master boards, or maybe I made it for something else, but I don't remember. But if you have a piece left on the end, you can always cut it into ATC size, or you can intentionally make it for ATCs. But then, of course, all your backgrounds are going to be the same, but or similar. So then I had this die cut that I tried to make the other day that I couldn't weed all the pieces out of it. These little teeny tiny ones, sometimes they don't cut all the way through. And so I decided to just kind of use it more freeform by trimming some of it out and cutting it apart and using it. The thing that I put down first, though, is out of a brochure. I believe it was a paint brochure. In fact, I know it was a PBO paint brochure, and it had some little pictures of art in it, somebody else's art, but I tore it out and used part of it. This is absolutely fine, even though it's somebody else's art. It's been put into a a publication that's been handed out to the public, so it's no longer really protected. Becomes mostly just public property at that point if it's been used in something. And so of course, I'm altering it. I didn't just use it, I altered it, but I used that little picture. Then I put these little white die cut stringers on there from that piece of die cut. And I'm using a sponge box. Whenever I do little teeny tiny die cut sticking down, they're so tiny and annoying. And so I like to use the sponge box, but if you are using in the sponge box, make sure that you store it upside down because very quickly the glue goes to the bottom and then you can't access it anymore. You want it to be floating on the top. So I didn't get as much glue on there as I had intended because I'd had the thing sitting the other way for an hour and the glue had migrated. So I ended up using a glue stick, but gluing little teeny tiny things like that is really frustrating. So I love die cuts. However, sometimes I really get frustrated with the weeding and the gluing of them. So once I had my little white pieces on, I did a little bit of shading with an indigo pit pen. This is a type of pen that has India ink in it. Comes in a box of a lot of them, or you can get them individually. But they come as I have a large box of them, and that's the indigo color because this was the blues and greens. And I'm adding some of that iridescent glitter. I figured the other two I made today had glitter, so I would add glitter on this one as well. I do love glitter. Um, it's kind of funny because I don't like shiny things. I don't like a whole shiny finish. I prefer a matte finish, but then I like glitter. It's like two different sides of my personality. I have a split personality. So I thought that this kind of reminded me of water, and so I decided to cut out a little fish out of a scrap of paper that had some paint on it. This is deli paper, and it had like turquoisey blue paint on it. So I just cut out this little tiny fish, and I added some little shading around him to make him stand out more. But then I decided later to add some highlights too with white. Put a little white eyeball on there, give him a smiley face. I thought he was super cute. And then I'm using the black to go around the eye and to make a pupil. It's hard to see. I know I'm pretty zoomed out because this was filmed on my phone. So I don't have really ability to zoom in as much as I do with my webcam. But my webcam was being used as the live stream camera. So this was filmed during the live stream. We live stream every Thursday on Art Joy of Sharing channel, Thursday mornings. So you can always come and watch us live. So then I found another Tim Holtz sticker. It says "A Sweet Story," and I thought the little fish swimming in the pond under the kind of moon shape or whatever was a sweet story. So I liked that. Then of course I always put a backer on my cards, and I write the number. This was number 3, so I write number 3, 2021. This I print out on my computer, but there is an option of downloading one off of the Art Joy of Sharing art community file section if you don't want to make your own. And also there's stamps out there where you can just stamp the back and write in your name or whatever. So that is it for me for today. Please like, comment, subscribe, turn on your notification bells, all those things. I will put a list of materials used in the description box below, and be sure to come and join us for the ATC A Day 2021 challenge. Bye-bye.